through some hard things. Hello, feel free to say hello if you're joining me live and let me know where you're tuning in from. Okay, so first I wanted to remind you what today's prompt is, and then I'm going to go over 3 common kind of mental blocks that entrepreneurs face and my thoughts on them, because I wanted to give you solutions, right? Like I'm having you brainstorm, like on the worksheet I'm having you fill out. Hi, Jamie, great to see you here. On the worksheet I'm having you fill out, I'm having you jot down your own personal mental blocks around getting visible, which I think is good to just process for the sake of processing, but I also wanted to give you some solutions, or at least the solutions that I found in my life and business, to 3 of kind of the more common ones and ones that I've struggled with. So hopefully it'll help you actually make some traction so that they're not just like out there on paper. But a reminder that what I want you to do today for your thing to share in the group is let you know it's a little bit less vulnerable, right? Like on your own, you might process some really scary stuff, but something that I think you might feel more comfortable sharing publicly is letting us know what motivates you to get visible and get past that fear, right? Because those fear and those limitations are real and hard and challenging. So we have to have something even greater and even greater why to get us on the other side of that. Whether it's changing people's lives in your business, influencing people, or even the freedom that you have as an entrepreneur when you're able to rock your business, right? So that's why today I want you to dive into like what's motivating me. That way when tomorrow and the next day I ask you to do some hard, visible actions that are a little bit scary, you can lean back on, this is why I'm doing it. These are my reasons. This is my motivation, and it's worth it. Like, it's worth it to get on the other side of these fears. Good morning, Danielle. So good to have you guys here with me. I wish you could just like sit here with me and like drink tea or something. Anyway, so that's what I want you to be sharing in the group today for your prompt. But I also wanted to go over with you 3 of the most common mental objections that I find that entrepreneurs have and that I have had, so that if these are some of yours, you can find some traction and solutions and not just feel like I'm leaving you in, okay, brainstorm and tell me what all your fears are. Okay, good luck with those. Just move past them. Sometimes we need to like process through them. So if yours that you put on your worksheet today, hi, Misha. Misha, you're so great. I always love when you comment on things. If these 3, if you're like, Anna didn't hit on any of my 3, feel free to like post in the group or call up a business friend or process through yours, because I want you to feel like you have support, not just in getting your mindset blocks out there, but actually in pushing through them. So let's go through them really quick. So one of the common ones that I had starting out, a mindset block, right? It's called fear of success, but I don't know that I knew it as fear of success or called it that till like a few weeks ago. Essentially, it looks like fears around what will happen when your business takes off. And this is kind of like embarrassing for me to tell you, but like I think I had this fear that when my business took off, like what if things get too big? Or things are unmanageable, or I don't want to, like, I enjoy kind of like a smaller, simpler life. And for some reason I felt like, what if when I'm successful, like what if I'm visible and successful, like I experienced like, just this feeling that things would happen to me instead of a reminder that it's my business, I can run it how I want. And that like when I saw all these entrepreneurs, like, and because, you know, my first business wasn't business coaching. So I think when I got into business coaching, I had this big fear of like, I don't want to be Marie Forleo. Like, I don't want to be these different coaches, right? And so I had this fear that it would just happen to me and I would suddenly be speaking on Oprah, and I didn't want to speak on Oprah. Like, like all these things, those are all fear of success, right? Because I was afraid that my success wouldn't look like what I wanted it to, which is completely not the truth, right? Like we have each step in our business, we can decide what it'll look like. So a lot of times this also comes up as, like, what if I can't deliver? Like, what if, you know, someone actually buys my package or offer or course and I can't deliver? What if I can't keep up? Like, what if I start a Facebook group and I can't keep up with being engaged in it? which the truth is, you run your Facebook group how you want to run your Facebook group, right? Of course, you should be consistent, but it doesn't mean you need to be in there every single day. Like, it can look like what you want it to look like. So I think I'm still processing through that myself, but that is my best advice for you. If you have some fear around, what if when my business takes off, what if X happens? What if I can't be as present of a mom for my family? What if, this and this? Like, those are fear of success things. Any of those pop up for any of you 3 or 4 that are with me? The next is, I don't feel qualified, right? Like imposter syndrome. Have you guys Googled that before? It's a good one to think through. They talk a lot about this in like counseling grad school, but just this feeling of, as in any career, this feeling of like I feel like I'm faking it. Like, when will they find out that I don't know? I'm still figuring this out as I go. And like, or I haven't experienced enough of my own success in this area, right? Like, I'm still learning and growing myself, right? Like, I design websites, but I'm still having trouble with my own website or whatever it is. But I think when I hear my clients have this problem, which almost all of them do, I'm like, yay! Like, this is a good problem to have. Why? Because it means that you are an authentic, honest person, and that you're wanting to represent yourself authentically. You're wanting to show up in a way that's real. You're wanting to over-deliver. And that's good, right? But I think the bad thing about this is we end up doing the opposite. Like, we don't want to be inauthentic in how we present ourselves. So we undersell ourselves, or we're actually inauthentic with how we present ourselves, but in a different way. We actually undersell like who we are, right? Especially for women who are ethical and grounded and honest and desire to help and serve people. Like, when strangers meet us online, they don't know that. Like, so we have to tell them. We have to sell ourselves to help people understand that baseline of who we are. And that's just real, right? Like, I know I'm a kind, quality, ethical person, and all my friends would tell you that. But in order for you guys to know that, I have to tell you, because you don't know me. And that's not being pushy or over salesy. Like, that's just being real. Like, I have to let you know the value in working with me and the value you can get from working with me, because you don't know, right? Because when you first met me, we just first met. So remember that the people, your tribe, doesn't know you. So it's okay to show up. And what I call this is the opposite of the con artist problem, right? Where con artists are selling something and under-delivering. But I think heart-centered entrepreneurs have the opposite, where we have this amazing service and product and value, but we are underselling it. That's not good, because I want you to stay open in your business so that you can continue to help and empower people. I need to move the mouse on my screen so that my notes are open. Okay, so and the fact, I think, that you're working on improving yourself in your own business is a good thing, right? As long as you have your own support and you're tuning in. Like, for me, right? Like, I have a coach too. Like, I'm a business coach, but I have my own coach, right? Like, in my first business, when I did more like life coaching, I still had people in my life that were speaking into my life and helping me develop my life, right? Like, and I know I'm using the same examples, but like, if you are a website designer and you're taking courses on new things in building websites, like, that's okay, right? Because you're learning and leaning in and getting better. And I think that actually makes you more qualified. The fact that you are able to resonate with your clients. Good morning, Lindsay. Thank you for tuning in. And the fact that you're on your own journey, as long as you're being accountable to be on the journey, right? I think makes you more qualified as a teacher and not less qualified. I think it's okay to teach people as we go and take people along on our journeys. Yeah, that's the second one. Okay, let's wrap up with the third one. So the third one is kind of like a mental objection I think people have, is like, what if I pick the wrong blah, 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 right? the wrong target audience, the wrong niche, the wrong business idea, the wrong, maybe your business idea, but what if I pick the wrong challenge? What if I pick the wrong product to launch? What if I own a sandwich shop and, this feeling like, what if I don't have the perfect blah, blah, blah offer, package, and ... waste my time. That was a huge one for me early on because I think I'm somewhat of a perfectionist, but I'm also really efficient. And so I felt like I don't want to be inefficient, so I'm just going to sit in this passive waiting zone and just wait it out until I have everything figured out before taking action. Man, obviously many of you know that so many people say like the action breeds clarity thing, but it is so true for better and for worse, right? Like it's on the other side of action in your business that you're going to figure out for real. Like obviously make a calculated decision, but it's on the other side of it that you really get clarity on what's working, and especially in our businesses, usually we don't start out with a bang, right? We start out really small. Our first course launch is tiny. Our first product we release, hopefully, like when I've sold prints on Etsy before, and I started off selling one print. I didn't start off selling a million prints, and so you're starting off small anyway, and so it's kind of nice that it's not like, hopefully, it's not costing you like a ton of capital or time. Like there's not, when you're honest with yourself, very much risk involved. And so my advice for that one, if that's one of your blocks, the block of what if I pick the wrong blank and waste my time. So I'm going to sit here and get all my ducks in a row and get it perfect and find the perfect business idea, product, thing in order to act. But for me and my business, it's been the total opposite, that even though I have waited on that before, it's actually the action that the clarity comes through, and then you can always make shifts. You can always change your mind. But I think what keeps us in that is it's safer, even though it's uncomfortable to not be seeing results in our business. It's not fun or comfortable, but it does feel a lot safer, right? Because there's no real risk. Or there is risk because we're kind of failing by default, but we're in control of it, right? Like we're the one that is causing ourselves to not see results in our business because we're not taking action. So it feels a little safer because it's like controlled versus getting ourselves out there and getting visible, and then potentially what's on the other side of it. Other people not liking our idea, other people rejecting us. Those like scarier things that come on the side of creative action, which we're talking about more tomorrow, but don't worry about that right now. Anyway, so I wrote, we're waiting on the very things that will come with the action and experience. So my advice for that one, if it's a block, is just to bravely and boldly keep charging forward and acting. So those are kind of the most three common ones I could think through. But if your mental blocks and objections, which I think there is power to just getting them on the sheet and brainstorming them, but I also want you to get solutions and being able to move past them. So feel free to use the group to brainstorm and move through those. Let me know in this thread if any of those three objections have been the case in your business, those mental blocks, and let me know what you did to move past them, because I'm curious, because these are all three things that I have struggled with and or still struggle with. And I'm sure that lots of other women in this group are currently working through them. So I would love to hear your experience and hear what has worked for you. I'm going to read some of your comments, but feel free to chime in with any questions you have for me. But I am so excited to hear your whys and motivations and get you rooted in kind of my hope in this challenge is that, like I was saying, it comes from that safe place, right? You have me supporting you and cheering you on. You have an accountability buddy if you want one. Not mandatory. And then you also, from this day one, are coming from this place of being rooted in your motivation, and just a reminder of why you're in this crazy entrepreneurial thing anyway, right? Man. Oh, yay, Jamie! I'm a website developer, and I just bought a new theme to learn from the inside out. Jamie, I'm glad that, yeah, that's true. I guess that example works perfect for you. Yes, and that, Jamie, that makes you a better website designer, because that, like, none of us have fully arrived. gift, right? Like, wouldn't we admit that? Like, and I'm okay with the people in my life mentoring me saying that too. Like, Jamie, if you were designing my website, I would be delighted that you're not like, I'm a perfect website developer and I know everything there is to know eternally about websites. But yet in our own minds, we put this pressure on ourselves that we have to know and be all. But I think we need to remember we're not just teachers and trainers, but we're really leaders. Anyway, tangent. Beautiful. Thank you, Jamie, for that example. Yay, thank you. Sorry, I missed some of these comments. Christine says, yes, I guess you were brought up not to brag. People don't know me. Yes, Christine. And I have a great little mini training on this called Own Your Value that might be really helpful for you. But there is nothing, and I love helping my heart-centered entrepreneurs with this, right? I totally had this problem starting out, but there is nothing more beautiful than being authentically confident in what we have to offer, because when we get paid for what we do, it means we get to keep our businesses open and keep helping and serving people, right? Like, that's a good thing. And, you know, for all my clients, like, I so fully believe in what they're doing in their businesses. I want to see them succeed. And I want you to have that for you too. Like, I want you to really believe from this deep-rooted place that what I have to offer is so valuable. I did a video once called, I'm a Great Deal. And I feel like I am, and I want you to be able to say that for you too. Whatever you sell or offer, that if you're not able to say, my product is amazing and you better buy this thing, or my service is stellar, then you should probably either switch your mindset or switch products or services. Because I want you to have a sustainable business. But there's nothing more beautiful, I think, as far as, especially as us as women, there's nothing more, and this is just like a leadership thing. But I think the more I can be humbly confident in who I am as a business owner, as a leader, as a mom, as a woman, it doesn't make other people want to be more like me, hopefully. It makes them want to be more of them, right? Like, the more I come alive into who I am, I want to point people not to become a mini Anna, right? But become more of you. Like, become more alive in what you are. And I think, Christine, like, that's the gift that our confidence gives people. So lean into and own that confidence. Wonderful. Yay. Okay. Any other comments? Mona says, not sure if you mentioned this at one time at the start of the live stream, but one that really resonated with me was the first one, not being able to maintain the momentum and energy. Yes, Mona. So that one is fear of success. And I know that phrase, fear of success, doesn't resonate with a lot of people, but that totally is what that is, right? Because you're saying, what if, when my business takes off, when I'm successful, what if I can't keep up? What if I don't have the energy? And the truth is, it's your business, and you get to make the shifts and changes along the way so that you can. And if it's not working and you're finding that you can't keep up and you don't have energy, you get to make a shift or a change and make it so that, like, I think we forget the autonomy and the power we have in our business. But it's a hard one, Mona. That was one of the biggest ones that I struggled with, for sure. Yay. Okay, well, I hope you ladies have a beautiful, beautiful day. Thank you so much for tuning in with me, and I will see you in the challenge.